Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
All right, Jordan, for the people here live at Commodity Classic and for our listeners back at home, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are, what you're doing for the company, and how'd you get there?
Thanks. Happy to be here. Jordan Lang. I grew up in Central Iowa. I think it's similar to where you guys are from, and born and raised, stayed close to home for school in Northeast Iowa, and been with Deere for about 11 years now. Passionate about the ag industry and tasked with, at this point in time, growing what we still consider a startup business within the Deere world and the performance upgrades business.
So startup,
it's crazy to think
Deere's
about.
Been around over hundreds of years. So what's the startup?
The startup is a different way to deliver product and technology to customers. Most would say, over time I've walked into my John Deere dealership as a customer, I've told them what I need, and it shows up usually in the form of new or a piece of used equipment. Yeah. I don't have to make too many updates to it. That's our bread and butter and how we've survived for many years and grown our business. But now it's all about updating existing machines.
Corey, you should just go buy that X9 over there. You got enough money? So with that
great point. Yeah,
great point, right? Yeah. As things are new, they probably cost more. So you're finding a new market, if you will, a market that's been there probably quite a while, but you're revamping or bringing it to light.
Yeah, we're developing a portfolio that I'd say is still yet a little raw, but if you consider what our bread and butter product is today, it's our planter upgrades. And to your point around cost, I'd say round numbers, between a third and half of the cost when compared to a new planter, you're going to get the business end of the planter brand new and have the operational efficiency and that the use of that planter will be like a brand new planter.
Okay.
Yeah, because the bar is, as long as you take care of it, is good. You can have a new planter without buying a new planter, right?
Yeah, and I would say in our upgrades world, you get full new bolt-on row units, and when you look at the business end of the planter, it's brand new.
Yep. And I would say we did this on the farm, and this was before John Deere was offering this. So, we bought an old planter, and then we upgraded it.
Okay.
But we just got all the fancy stuff. We didn't get a whole brand new row unit, like you said. So it's not technically new.
Yeah. So this is what you call PUKs, Performance Upgrade Kits. I had to look that up. So I'm saying that for the listeners because if I didn't know what it was, there's somebody else out there that doesn't know what it was and maybe doesn't know that it's available. So this is available on planters. What else can we get an upgrade on?
Yeah, formally we're in year 2 currently of having sprayer upgrades, and we've launched some upgrades for crop harvesting equipment, front end equipment, and we're soon to have some upgrades available for combines.
So let's talk See and Spray.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Yeah, so if you look at the machine over here to the left, that's a See and Spray Ultimate machine. So that would have, if you look at it, you say, what's that black boom? It looks different. That truss style boom, the full machine out of the factory with See and Spray technology on it. It comes at a price point that's appropriate for some, but think about a customer who maybe bought a new machine a year ago.
Yep.
Or bought a 3-year-old machine this year, and would say, next year I'd like to have See and Spray in my operation. But it doesn't make sense to trade up to that. I just made an investment in my current machine that has the latest technology other than See and Spray. How can I acquire that technology? So we're launching a See and Spray Premium, as we call it, and it's the same See and Spray technology with the vision and sensors and everything you'd see on that machine, but installed as a kit on your current machine.
I just flashed back to a conversation I had with my uncle years ago who was waiting to order a Chevy Pickup, but didn't want to do it until the new model body style came out because he didn't want to be stuck with the last year the body style was available. Even though the truck's only 1 year old, it might look like it's 6 or 7. So that's kind of a neat way for Deere to dive into the market of giving us an opportunity to get into the latest technology available, which is what this whole episode is about, and not having to completely upgrade the power unit.
So some of it is, I didn't know you had performance upgrade kits until just today. I'm guessing other farmers don't know that either. How do they know? I know how to farm, but I don't know what I need on my planter to make it better. I don't know. I mean, I've been to your conference. I've seen some new technology, but I don't know what parts I need. How do I know? Is the dealer going to tell me that? Is it a website? Like, what's that look like?
Yeah, so we would always say your John Deere dealer should be your first and best source for that type of information.
Okay.
But in what you're talking about, me as a customer, as a producer, it's great for me to understand if it's better for me to keep what I have and I'm happy with it, but I want to make some form of an update. What is that, or what am I eligible for? We're working on a tool right now that'll be out on Deere.com in the coming months.
Okay.
Where you as a customer could input the serial number of your machine, or input the model and model year of that machine, and it will show you what upgrades you are eligible for. We're making it available for planners first, but it's going to give you a first look that you, of course, would like to see, and then talk to your dealer about how that fits your planner specifically.
Is there going to be different levels of mod updates? Like, well, for X amount of dollars, you can buy the gold package. For X plus a little more, you can buy the platinum package. I mean, is there I have enough money to do this year, but then I'd like to get to that next year. I mean, as we're tax planning, taxes are so much in agriculture. As we're doing that, and we're forecasting the future and having a good balance sheet, is there incremental upgrades?
There are some. There are some that are required, I would say, in like the core base features. For example, if you want to go to go from XP row units to ExactEmerge, you need a full new row unit to do that. But if later you wanted to make updates to your row cleaners or to your closing wheels or something like that, you can do that later. But yeah, there are some. We'll lay out what's necessary from the outset and then what's available down the road.
This is the farmer side of me talking. Is this something I can buy from my John Deere dealer and do it in my shop, or does it have to go into the John Deere dealer to get updated?
Great question.
You could do it as well.
Good?
Yeah.
It's easy. That easy.
Yeah, I would say that some involvement from your dealership is necessary, especially as I would say you button things up maybe to make sure it runs.
Yep.
From a software standpoint. But yes, you can by all means take that kit from your dealer when it's delivered to them.
Yep.
There's a lot of nice big heated shops in the Midwest, and farmers have some time in the winter to do things like that, and we very much encourage that if the customer is able to do it.
If you come haul my corn, I'll be able to do that. Do you think that, so we talked autonomy on the last one, so do you think autonomy will be a PUK at some point to upgrade old tractors, or will it only be on new tractors?
I'd say that's the future. Yeah,
Okay.
We need to look at that because we can't expect, I would say, with where pricing has definitely gone in the marketplace today. I think we're all feeling that in many areas, not just equipment, right? There's value in the current machines that we as farmers own today. There has to be.
A lot. Yeah.
And I would say the gap, I'll put my farmer hat on, the gap between a new machine and a nice used machine has grown in terms of values, right? And so
although
we need to
some
find
of the auction prices, these like 8300s.
I was just going to say, the auctioneer and me talking says, what do you do with all the old stuff? So we got
But you haven't seen the new prices.
So we got a full new row unit, and we took it off. Do we just throw them in the corner on a pallet? Like what?
Oh, there's a market for that too.
I study that a little bit as well, and
Like,
there's
what do we do with
value
the
in
old-
those row units.
Yep.
Yeah. So is there?
I want to get back to the basics because we jumped right over it. We went
That's what we
ExactEmerge
like to do.
is an upgrade,
Yeah.
and See and Spray is an upgrade. But let's take just a minute for each one of these. What do you get in making a difference on your planner when you do the upgrade? So what is the technology that is going to benefit me? What's the ROI driven from? Let's talk the upgrade kit for the planners first.
Planners, it's all about ExactEmerge technology, the brush belt, seed placement, efficiency in your operation, planting faster. We're firm
time.
believers in it. It's proven. Time
Yep.
and accuracy of the seed placement.
Which should lead to yield.
Yes.
Yep. So then what on
Which
the
should
See
lead
and
to
Spray
profit.
side, what does that get us?
Yep. Input cost reduction. So placement where the weed is seen by the See and Spray technology is going to reduce your input costs as you are going across the field applying herbicides for your in-season applications.
Is that on bare ground or that's in crop you're seeing a spray too?
Yeah, so that sprayer, See and Spray, you can broadcast, you can do targeted spray. There's different modes available depending on the time of season or application that you're performing.
We just talked about variable rate on the
Tillage,
last
yep.
episode, even to tillage. Well, same thing. It's not maybe what we get; it's what we don't spend.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
So as we sit here at the show, we talked those two pieces of technology. What did we miss?
Yeah, there's a couple other I'd highlight over there that there seem to be some big crowds around the spring. And so if you see Exact Shot, we're launching that as an upgrade first. So
And that goes on what?
planters.
Yep.
Thank you. Yep. So it's the next step in fertilizer placement on the planter. So if you think about today, we're banding fertilizer in the furrow. that's actually going to dose it on the seed. So
Oh, really?
we talked about reduced input cost. You're reducing your fertilizer cost, but you're also making sure the right amount gets placed on the seed for the best use of that.
And what you can also do, this is a farmer hat, you can also, so say you were putting 3 gallons to the acre on in a stream, Dave.
Yeah.
Now you're putting it on the seed. You could probably put a 5 gallon per acre rate on that seed, but you're probably still saving, what, 40, 60% of the actual product?
And Corey's got to tear his planter down yet this spring. And he better be careful what he's putting onto it because you're probably going to want exact shot.
Yeah. Is that a very invasive thing? Could I just put that on my planter right now, even if it's not a high-speed planter?
You do need a high-speed planter.
You do need a high-speed planter.
Yep, there are some.
So I need a bigger
requirements.
upgrade than I probably have time for.
That's the platinum package. That's not just the.
That's all right. There's always next year.
Yeah.
As we talk about a few of these, I mentioned, upgrade first. We're looking at this business as the means of when we have technology ready that's been developed at John Deere. How do we get to the market fastest? And some of our factories or products might not be available or ready to launch a new product, but the technology that could be on that product is ready. We want to make that available to customers to deliver value and reduce some of their expenses through efficiencies as quickly as possible.
I think that's a great plan. Customer focused to get as quick to market as we can with it and at the most reasonable cost because everybody has a different amount that they can spend. Yeah. Okay, in that. We'd all love brand new, but it sounds like a great idea to me.
How do you decide what is going to be the next thing that you're going to invest into to be a technology for a PUK?
We work with our production systems teams to figure out what is best there. I'd say in upgrades, we're a team that's going to help make sure it works on existing equipment in the field. But I would say our production systems teams that work on all these products bring those technologies to us and say they're ready to go. How do we make it available? That's what we're responsible for.
Is there one that's, so to his question, maybe a little deeper, is there one that's more profitable? We're Farm for Profit podcast. Is Seed and Spray going to do better, save me more money? Do we have any analytics on this versus I already have a high-speed planter, let's upgrade to exact shot?
I'd say that's a decision that a producer needs to make based on their operation because your weed pressure or are you a no-till operation?
Okay.
It's very dependent on that specific farmer and how they handle their production every year. So I think certain, would maybe see more value in a See and Spray. Maybe they do custom spraying. Maybe there's many variables. Some would see it as I need to make a significant upgrade to my planter.
Okay.
And it's the opportunity to add multiple technologies to it.
So if it's variable, there's some customer front end here, Corey. You got to go out and research this. Where do you go to do that?
JohnDeere.com.
Yeah, Deere.com is a great place. I'm a big advocate for our dealers. So stop by your local dealer. We're doing more day in, day out to educate our dealers on this business and get more engaged. A big part of it is the installation. So you talked about who does that installation. We've got many options available. Yep. So we've got a team that'll come out and help. Our dealers are great at it. Yep. We encourage them to, of course, lead the charge, and farmers can help participate in that as well.
I got you. Tanner, I'm going to put you on the spot. You're the ag lender.
Yeah.
You're the banker. So from a banking standpoint, a balance sheet standpoint, for farmers, is there any call to why I'd want to upgrade my current equipment to appease you in the balance sheet versus buying new? Is one better than the other? I don't know. I'm just...
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at a cost-benefit analysis, and for the opening comment that he made about it could be a third to a half of the cost of new, there might be an opportunity to where we would sit down and say that's the best for the ROI coming out of your operation. But again, every farm is going to be different. That's the fun part about being down here at Commodity Classic and having a conversation with the Deere team. We've been watching this video screen in front of us that keeps asking me if I'm ready. And as you talk about all the new technologies that we had in this entire show, the last 3 conversations that we had, there's been a lot of things that I've wrote down because I don't feel like I'm ready. And that's why it's great to have a team to be able to dive deeper into this. All we did was scratch the surface on this thing, and it's fun to kind of put a bow on the conversation that we had, and I took something out of everything that you said, all 3 conversations. Deere's always been focused on how do you get to the market the fastest. You want to be the leader in the industry, and that's why you can also be the leader for getting answers. Ask the question, we can either dive into it or we've got the data to prove that. The conversation we had before this is the speed of technology advancements has never been faster than it is today, but it also will never be slower again in the future. And the other one is you can't manage what you don't measure. So the three conversations that we had today are all based around the technology that's available in equipment, and that's what we wanted to share with our listeners. But the bonus was being able to share that with the people sitting in the yellow seats today. So thank you to everybody being a part of this. Special thanks for Jordan for this segment. We really appreciate you hanging out with us and providing a lot of benefit.
I got a challenge.
Fire away.
So I wrote down hardware and software. John Deere started out with a plow, right? It was hardware. And now there's a lot of software into all this. And I don't know what the percentage is, but is it 50-50? Is it more one or the other?
You're going to find increased value in I would say, the software that is on these machines and products, as long as you're engaged in utilizing it.
My challenge is just hitch your wagon to a good brand, and John Deere is a great brand. You know that there's so many options out there for planter upgrades that's not John Deere, the sprayer upgrades that's not John Deere, but you guys are doing the best ones and putting it all together in one spot, kind of like Operations Center does for your farm. John Deere is doing that for everything, and that's who I want to hitch my wagon to as a farmer.
I think it's going to be crucial they all talk with each other. I mean, think of our lives, how and even let's look at iPhone, how iPhone and iCloud and iPicture and iMessenger and everything. Look at Google. We have Google Sheets and Google Mail and Google this. We need, we have John Deere, so Command Center. But we need to all go around the same thing so everything talks, because if they're not going to talk, we're going to be in trouble.
I would say look at our performance upgrades business and look how integrated it is in the operation or in the cab when a customer purchases an upgrade from us. You're not adding additional displays, for example. You're not adding switches. What we are focused on is a consistent experience, whether you are purchasing an upgrade for your existing machine or buying a new machine. We want that